What if the most powerful engines in Monaco weren't roaring under the hoods of men, but guided by the grace of queens? Every summer, Monaco turns into a living movie, a playground where billionaires, celebrities, and royalty meet under the same Mediterranean sun. But this year, something different happened. The spotlight didn't belong to the kings. It belonged to the Queens of Supercars. As dawn breaks over Port Hercule, the streets awaken to the echo of V12s, V8s, and the shimmer of diamonds catching the morning light. One by one, the world's most influential women arrive, in Bugattis plated with gold, Ferraris custom painted like art, and Lamborghinis that roar louder than applause. But make no mistake, these aren't passengers of luxury, they are the drivers of destiny. From fashion icons to business empresses, from mysterious heiresses to those whispered to be part of Zeus's inner circle. Each arrival marks the rise of a new dynasty in Monaco. They're not here to blend in, they're here to redefine power. But as the cameras flash and engines roar, one arrival silences the crowd, a woman whose presence makes even the Riviera hold its breath. Who is she? And is this the moment the dynasty of queens truly begins? Welcome to Inside the Billionaires, where luxury meets legend. Hit that subscribe button because what you're about to witness is history on wheels. They call it the world's most expensive square mile. But Monaco is more than wealth. It's a living masterpiece where luxury breathes through every street corner. Imagine a skyline of marble penthouses overlooking a sea of yachts worth more than skyscrapers. The air hums with the rhythm of engines, designer heels, and champagne flutes clinking at sunset. Every inch of this micro-kingdom is designed for spectacle. The Boulevard Albert isn't just a road, it's a runway where Ferraris gleam like jewels under the Riviera's sun. The Monte Carlo casino glows like a crown, and every terrace becomes a front-row seat to the theater of the elite. Here, power doesn't need words, it's expressed in motion. A soft engine rev, a quiet entrance, a diamond-covered steering wheel. And, for those who arrive here, Monaco is not just a destination, it's a statement. To drive through its golden streets means to announce to the world, I've made it. But this summer, a different kind of power took over. Not the old money, not the royal family, but something far more magnetic. Because when the Queens of Supercars descend upon Monaco, the rules of the game change. Their presence turns this glittering paradise into an arena of elegance and dominance. And among them, one figure will rise, a woman who might just eclipse even Zeus's golden empire. The sun had barely risen over the Riviera, but Monaco was already awake and roaring. The sound of engines echoed through the narrow streets like an orchestra of power, each note played by a machine worth more than a mansion. This wasn't just another morning in Monte Carlo, it was the arrival parade, the grand entrance of the world's most dazzling women, each commanding her supercar like a queen on her throne. As the first rays of sunlight struck the chrome hoods, flashes from cameras followed. A ruby-red Ferrari pulled up beside a silver Lamborghini Aventador. Moments later, a Bugatti Pure Sport rolled to a stop, its gold rims glinting like sunlight trapped in motion. But the spectacle wasn't the cars, it was the women stepping out of them. Each arrival was a performance. Grace wrapped in horsepower, elegance balanced on four roaring wheels. Dresses flowed, heels clicked, and the crowd stood in silence, as if the streets themselves bowed to their presence. The Boulevard Albert. I turned into a runway where luxury and beauty collided in perfect rhythm. Monaco had seen countless billionaires arrive before, but never like this. These weren't passengers of wealth, they were the drivers of power. Yet, amid the symphony of engines and applause, one arrival would steal the entire show, a golden flash that would make even the Riviera hold its breath. And that moment was the beginning of a legend. Among all the roaring engines and flashing diamonds, one arrival silenced Monaco. Cameras stopped clicking. Conversations froze. Every gaze turned toward a single car, a golden Bugatti Chiron Supersport, gleaming under the Riviera sun like a myth brought to life. No one knew who she was at first. The door opened in slow motion, and out stepped a woman whose elegance carried the weight of legend. She didn't pose for the cameras. The world simply adjusted itself around her presence. Her tailored ivory suit shimmered under the light, her diamond-encrusted sunglasses reflecting the harbor, and with each step, the air seemed to still. Her arrival wasn't about luxury, it was about authority. The car wasn't transportation, it was a throne on wheels. And that gold-plated Bugatti? A symbol that in Monaco, power doesn't shout. It arrives quietly, and everyone listens. Whispers rippled through the crowd. Was she royalty? An heiress? Or the mysterious woman rumored to be part of Zeus's circle? No one could confirm, but one thing was certain. She wasn't just part of the event. She was the event. As she stepped into the Hotel de Paris, the paparazzi finally broke their silence. Flash after flash lit up the facade, capturing what felt like a new chapter in Monaco's history. Because in that moment, the Golden Queen didn't just arrive in Monaco, she claimed it. And by nightfall, every other supercar queen would have to decide, follow her lead, or be forgotten in her shadow. In Monaco, beauty opens doors, but intelligence keeps them open forever. Behind every diamond smile and designer gown, there's a woman running empires that stretch far beyond the Riviera. These aren't just the faces of fashion, they are the architects of wealth. Many of Monaco's most admired women began as models, actresses, or socialites, only to evolve into business titans who now command global brands. What started as elegance has become strategy. They've learned to turn fame into influence and influence into power. Take a walk down Avenue Princess Grace and you'll see more than luxury boutiques. Hidden behind tinted glass and private penthouses are offices of women managing investment portfolios, art collections, and multinational corporations. Some control luxury fashion houses. Others quietly own stakes in hotels, tech startups, or private jet companies. In Monaco, the line between glamour and power has disappeared. These women have mastered the art of perception, blending grace and ambition so seamlessly that the world underestimates them, until it's too late. They don't chase the spotlight, they let it come to them. Every appearance, every photo, every drive through the harbor is a calculated move, part of a personal brand worth hundreds of millions. They understand one universal truth. In Monaco, image is currency. The right look at the right moment can seal a deal faster than any handshake. That's why their supercars, couture dresses, and diamond collections aren't excess. They're investments in identity. From philanthropists funding ocean conservation to CEOs steering luxury conglomerates, Monaco's women rule with subtle precision. They're not just surviving in a man's world, they're rewriting the playbook. But among these empresses of elegance, one woman's influence seems to extend even further, into the private circles of Monaco's most powerful men. Rumor has it, she isn't just a guest of Zeus's empire, she might be the one quietly running it. And if that's true, then Monaco's most famous king may no longer be the one holding the crown. When fashion meets horsepower, Monaco stops breathing. It's not just a parade of cars anymore, it's a runway of engines and elegance, where silk flows beside steel and couture meets carbon fiber. Every summer, the streets of Monte Carlo transform into the world's most exclusive fashion show. But instead of models walking, it's million-dollar machines gliding across the Riviera, each driven by a woman who treats the road like her private red carpet. The reflections of neon lights bounce off polished hoods, the hum of a Lamborghini Huracan merges with the click of Louboutin heels. And together, they compose Monaco's unofficial anthem, the sound of confidence. On the Boulevard des Moulins, a woman in a crimson Valentino gown steps out of a custom Ferrari Roma, her dress flowing like liquid fire. Another, dressed in white Chanel, drifts her Rolls-Royce Dawn through the marina as cameras capture her arrival like a royal procession. It's not arrogance, it's art. Here, every outfit and every car becomes a statement piece in the museum of luxury that is Monaco. These women understand synergy. The power of a 1,500 horsepower engine and the precision of haute couture share the same philosophy: craftsmanship, rarity, and timeless impact. To them, the roar of a Bugatti isn't noise, it's music, it's rhythm, it's status translated into sound. Each arrival is choreographed with precision. The handbags worth a fortune, the diamond earrings reflecting the Monaco skyline, the perfume lingering in the night air, all perfectly timed to tell one story. This is power, dressed in elegance. But amid the flashes and glamour, something else captures attention. A woman whose presence bends even the definition of luxury. Her car, her look, her aura, everything about her feels intentional, as if she's not just part of the event, but directing it. Whispers spread across the crowd. Is she the mysterious queen connected to Zeus himself? Because in this empire of fashion and engines, one question hangs in the air. Is Monaco watching a style icon, or the silent ruler of an entire dynasty? In Monaco, every whisper carries weight. And lately, those whispers all circle back to one woman, the mysterious figure known only as the Secret Queen. She never walks the red carpet. She doesn't need to. Her influence glides silently through Monte Carlo's skyline, from penthouses overlooking the harbor to the private boardrooms where billionaires make decisions that move the world. Her presence is felt, never seen, except by those who know exactly what to look for. Some say she's a tech investor who turned her fortune into an empire of discretion. Others claim she's the woman behind the woman, the strategist who helped Zeus expand his golden reach across Monaco. No photos exist of them together, yet every time Zeus's fleet of cars arrives, a second one, a matte black Ferrari Roma, follows closely behind. Coincidence? Or choreography? She is elegance weaponized. Where Zeus commands attention, she commands silence. Her network of alliances stretches from private art collectors to royal circles, and every move she makes ripples through the Riviera like a quiet storm. Those in the know call her the Queen without a crown. At private yacht gatherings, when billionaires toast to their victories, her name is never spoken, only hinted at. She's the kind of power Monaco respects the most: invisible, intelligent, and untouchable. Some even believe her investments hold shares in the very skyline, from the towers of La Votto to the luxury boutiques of Casino Square. But here's the question burning through every elite circle. If Zeus truly rules Monaco's empire, then why does every deal, every headline, and every glance of fear seem to trace back to her? Because in a world built on money, secrecy is the ultimate currency. And the Secret Queen may just be the one holding Monaco's silent crown. Behind every engine roar and diamond flash lies something deeper, an empire of elegance built not on noise, but on influence. Because in Monaco, real power doesn't always wear a crown. Sometimes it wears a tailored suit and drives a car that costs more than a private jet. The Queens of Supercars aren't just here for spectacle. They're here to remind the world that elegance itself is a form of power. Their Bugattis, Rolls-Royces, and Aston Martins aren't toys, they're tools, extensions of identity, credibility, and control. Every drive along Port Hercule is a silent boardroom, every glance exchanged through tinted windows a negotiation in motion. Beyond the glitter, these women sit at the center of empires that span fashion, real estate, and finance. Some own luxury brands that define the Riviera's image. Others finance architectural marvels rising from reclaimed land. Many have foundations supporting art, technology, or sustainability, carefully shaping Monaco's future while keeping their own legacies untouchable. This empire thrives on discretion. No loud announcements, no public rivalry, just subtle moves that change everything. Their elegance disarms, their intelligence recalibrates the balance of power. When they gather at the Hotel de Paris, or aboard a $200 million yacht, deals worth billions unfold beneath the sparkle of champagne. In Monaco, beauty might open the door, but strategy decides who stays inside. And these women stay, always 2 steps ahead, mastering the game that others are still learning to play. But a new chapter is unfolding. One where elegance isn't just influence, but dominion. Because when these women unite under one unspoken alliance, the world's most powerful men might soon realize the true empire of Monaco has always belonged to them. As night falls over the Riviera, the lights of Monaco reflect on the calm water like liquid gold. The city that once belonged to kings now hums with the power of queens. The engines have quieted, but their echo still lingers, a reminder that something new has begun. This is no longer just an event, it's a coronation. The women who arrived in shimmering cars and couture gowns didn't simply make an appearance, they made a statement. Together, they've rewritten the unwritten rules of Monaco's hierarchy. From the steps of the Hotel de Paris to the decks of billion-dollar yachts, whispers spread. The old guard is fading, and a new dynasty is taking its throne. The dynasty of queens, bound not by bloodlines, but by influence, style, and intelligence. They move as individuals, but reign as a force. Every stride they take, every car they drive, every silent deal they seal under chandeliers, it all adds to a legacy that transcends wealth. The harbor below Port Hercule becomes their kingdom. Their reflections ripple across the water, merging with the glow of their supercars. And somewhere among them, the Golden Queen, the woman in the Bugatti, stands at the center, the symbol of a new era. This isn't about who owns more, it's about who defines Monaco's identity. For the first time in history, that power belongs not to princes or tycoons, but to women who command the empire with elegance sharper than any crown. Because every dynasty starts with a moment, a spark that ignites change. And tonight, that spark was lit on the streets of Monaco. The question isn't whether the queens have arrived. It's this: will the world ever be the same now that they have? As the lights of Monaco fade into the horizon, one truth remains unmistakable. The era of the Queens of Supercars has begun. What we witnessed wasn't just luxury on wheels, it was the rebirth of power, elegance, and identity. These women didn't come to play the game, they came to change it. The Golden Queen and her circle have proven that influence in Monaco isn't about noise or fame. It's about presence, it's about mastery. And tonight, they've written a new chapter in the city's legacy. One driven by confidence, precision, and unstoppable ambition. But this story is far from over. Because while the streets may sleep, the empire of queens keeps growing in silence, preparing for what comes next. If you enjoyed this glimpse into Monaco's new royalty, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Because the next episode of Inside the Billionaires will take you even deeper inside Zeus's golden world and reveal the power behind the woman who might already be ruling it. Thank you for watching. Where luxury meets legend and every story drives you closer to the heart of Monaco's billionaires.